Hey gamers, Maniac here again with part 3 from Halo Outpost Discovery Philadelphia. Today we're going to be talking about the last two components of Outpost Discovery that we haven't discussed yet, the combat deck and Marksman Training. So what you're watching right now is the pre-flight video for the combat deck. I'm afraid I didn't get audio very well on this, so you'll have to read the subtitles. But I think I got most of the spiel about how the deck works. Combat deck basically works very similar to laser tag, and we're going to talk a little bit about it as we get closer to the actual footage. This is basically what would happen if Halo Deathmatch was done for reals. Yes, I'm serious.
That's right. Consider yourself lucky. When I joined the Corps, we didn't have these fancy battle rifles and headsets. As an old sergeant of mine put it, all we had were 2 sticks and a rock for the whole platoon. And we had to share the rock. So fuck up. So pull yourselves together and get tactical, recruits. One more thing. Recruit, for your own safety, my own sanity, do not run, climb, jump, or lay on the floor of my beautiful combat deck. Furthermore, no crawling, melee, or backstabbing assassination on my combat deck. Just for good measure, there is absolutely no rolling, dancing, or fancy parkour stunts on my beautiful, precious, worth more than your life combat deck. Failure to comply will result in your immediate expulsion from the simulation. Is that clear?
Understood, Sergeant. Thank you.
We're going to go over a few things regarding safety right now, okay? First and foremost, there is no running inside the combat deck. There is no running or horseplay of any kind, okay? You'll receive one warning. After that warning, you will be asked to leave the combat deck. All right, guys. Get ready, because we're playing classic Halo Team Slayer, which means team deathmatch, okay? Whichever team wins, that team has the most amount of kills at the end of 4 minutes, okay? We're going to take you through your weapon right now. Right here is your headband. This must be worn at all times, okay? This has all of your receptors on it. You have 6 receptors. It is going to sit on your head just like a backwards baseball cap, just like this. Can be adjusted using this strap on the side. We will be there to assist you if you need it, okay? All right, everybody, right here. This is your battle rifle we will be issuing you. Does everyone see this button right here on the side above my thumb? Right here. This is your reload button, okay? It is also the only functioning button on the gun itself. Press it as many times as you would like. You have unlimited ammunition, okay? But we are playing fully automatic weapons. As long as you're pulling that trigger, you're putting rounds down range. Everybody pay attention to this bright blue screen right here. This is your display screen. It has your gamer tag ID on it, as well as your kills, deaths, and your ammunition remaining. Remember what your gamer tag ID is. That is how you will retrieve your score at the end of the game. See right up top, I got 3 bright bars. This is your shield indicator, okay? As you get shot, it will go down and make noise. When you die, it will make a loud yelling noise. That is your signal that you have died and you must go back to your team's respawn point in order to get back in the game. Each team has 1 respawn point located in each corner. 2 per team, everybody, all right? Everyone look at the top of this. I have a red dot sight. Please do not change the settings on the red dot sight. And this safety strap I have in my hand, this is very important, okay? It's gonna go over your dominant arm and over the top of your head. Must be worn at all times during the game. As soon as this group behind me is filtered out, we're gonna get you guys geared up and into the arena. You guys ready to play some laser tag?
Hoorah!
All right, excellent.
Make sure that the
Hi, it's me again. I'm sorry I couldn't get more footage from the combat deck. I thought I had gotten footage of the combat deck, but unfortunately there was a mistake in the footage that I thought I had recorded did not actually get recorded, and because of that, I only have that second or two of the deck to actually show you what was going on, or what the arena that we were basically playing laser tag in looked like. Now, I've played laser tag a lot. I really enjoy it. But typically speaking, I've never played laser tag in this type of configuration before. Typically speaking, when I play laser tag, it involves chest sensors, sensors on the weapon itself, maybe head sensors, maybe. And typically speaking, you would basically be firing at the person. If you hit them, they'd power down for a couple of seconds and you'd get a point. That's typically the configuration of laser tag that I'm used to. This was not like that. The system allowed for full rock and roll. And as you could see from the configuration of the system that you saw, headshots only. Body shots were not allowed. And I'm the kind of guy that aims for center of mass. It's the easiest way to bring somebody down, typically. So unless you were a person who entirely fired headshots, which again, this was an assault rifle you were getting. The assault rifle is not conductive to headshots. The pistol is. And we didn't have the pistol for this particular event. So that was a little frustrating. The fact that we had to go back to spawn points and that didn't really bother me that much, nor did things like shields or reloading. That stuff was all fine. But I did feel that I did feel the sensor placement was a bit of an issue. That having been said, people were still able to score, although again, because it was headshots only, you could see from the image that I'm going to show you of the final scores just how low the points were. So what were the technical issues? The game itself worked entirely as designed. So if your intention was to simply just suit up, aim at the opposing team, fire, try to avoid being hit, that worked perfectly. The arena itself was actually really well designed. There was plenty of cover. There were plenty of places to move to. Yes, there was a blue side and a red side, but you could move around freely to either side. You'd have a chance of getting shot if you moved into opposing territory, but that's neither here nor there. It certainly was, for what it was, a fair representation of what a Halo multiplayer experience environment would be like. And that's, to me, fine. The issue technically was it didn't upload statistics, it didn't upload stats, scores. So anybody that was playing the game could not take their scores or their statistics and move those over to overall scores for the event itself. That just didn't work. They had problems almost every day, basically, with that sort of thing. You couldn't register your Spartan tags. You couldn't upload your scores to the main server. Covenant, Covenant Escape had a similar problem where scores just simply weren't uploading. But at least with laser tag, you knew that they weren't going to upload. They told you flat out, it's like, our scores are not working. So it was just play for fun. If I had to choose between that experience, the laser tag itself, or the VR experience, I have to say I picked VR. I had a lot of fun playing the VR. VR game worked perfectly every time. I had a lot of fun with that one. You could aim for the body with VR. So in comparison between, like, well, who weighed what? VR wins over laser tag, I'm sorry, but that's just my personal preference. So if you wanted to have a full combat experience and you weren't happy with the laser tag, then the VR was definitely what you would want to check out. I want to talk briefly about one last aspect, and that was the marksman training in the game. This is what the marksman, training area looked like. And this is one of the weapons that you could use. This is the pistol. And this is the other weapon that you could use. This is the SMG. Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth. And we most certainly regret that the Corps blew up our raggedy-ass fleet. Hoorah! The target range is very much set up like a modern-day arcade machine setup. In fact, when I walked over to where the targets were, it reminded me of like the kind of machine that you'd see at a Dave & Buster's. Now, we were handed and we had our choice of whether we wanted a UNSC pistol or a UNSC submachine gun. After doing a little bit of research online prior to filming this video, I believe they were using Boomco pistols with Boomco rounds. They fired real rounds. I mean, they were dummy rounds, but nevertheless, these were not lasers. I walked into the thing for the first time expecting to find, you know, laser guns or something like that, but that wasn't the case here. You step up to the deck. You scan your badge so that your score would be recorded, and you basically have the time that's allotted to you to basically, you know, fire off as many rounds as you can to try to hit as many targets as you can until the timer runs out. The target itself was an interactive screen, an interactive touch screen, which could bring in like, you know, targets in range, out of range, down range, that sort of thing. And the objective was for you to make sure that your weapon was cocked, loaded, and to fire with these Boomco rounds at the targets as they were popping up. If you could not hit the targets, you would not get a score for hitting, you know, for it, and such. At the very end of the game, it would tally all the things that you hit. It would add any multipliers or any bonuses that you had accumulated if you had gotten a streak, and give you a final score and record it to your system. Now, there was no problem with the way the systems were functioning for them to take down your badge or to upload your score to the central server. That was functioning just fine. The problem was that even by early day, any given day, there were technical problems with the machines themselves, particularly with I could fire a round at a target, hit the target, and the machine itself or the television itself or the computer itself would not recognize that I had actually hit it. And so I'd have to reload, recock, and then basically there's my chance of basically getting the multiplier, getting the bonus. It takes time to basically reload these things and to recock them before you can even fire. Of course, there are things like misfires that can happen with these weapons. But needless to say, there were several times that I can imagine actually hitting that target and not being registered, and that's just really frustrating. The score that you saw on the when we just started talking about this section was the highest score that I was able to get. I believe the absolute maximum high score that they'd expect is about a 5,000. I think I got somewhere around 3,200 or something along those lines, which was enough for a silver, but it wasn't enough for the gold and certainly wasn't enough for the dog tag. That having been said, whereas with other events during the Halo Outpost Discovery, they didn't have the dog tags for the Marksman Training. I don't know why not. I talked to some of the people in charge, and I think they said that they just never arrived on site or something, or they lost them, or they were shipped somewhere else. I don't know, but that was the one event that actually you couldn't get a dog tag from, and that was a little disappointing. But needless to say that it was fun. You know, in theory, there was a lot going with it. You got, you know, the weapons themselves look really cool. The SMG was a little bit more frustrating to reload. The pistol was dirt simple to reload. It looked like a Halo, you know, it looked like a Halo pistol, and you saw the pictures of it, so there's that going for it. And the scores did properly record and upload to your system, you know, when, you know, so you could keep track of it. So, needless to say, my guess is that the televisions were not up for the amount of pounding they were going to be taking. I don't know how else to describe it.